What's up, guys? Welcome back to Modern Traders. I'm Ben. I'll be your host. As today we just discussed the top of the list on my mind, and I'm sure most traders everywhere, is this correction over? Are we headed upward? And the sentiment's pretty positive.
Bulls and Bears fought. Bulls won. It's clear, right? The chart wants higher. Here, I think that we're going to avoid the 5% backtest for right now. We
So
Even
were
the
market
major
before.
fears
institutions,
on
JP
inflation
Morgan.
are not going to go away. But I think the Fed messaging has been very clear. It's almost like they've been trying to outdove each other in the statements. They're prepared for this. They've warned the market about an overshoot. And from the point of view of the equity markets, what's driving rates higher is actually positive. It is the growth story. It's the recovery story that will be playing out in these middle
And it
quarters
goes
of the
on and
year.
on like that. And the official stance at Modern Traders is cautiously bullish. See how Monday goes. But I don't know about you, but feeling extra cautious after the last couple of weeks. So I'm trying to dip my toe into the water a little bit with two main groups of stocks that I feel have a little bit more safety if the market does keep correcting, and also are most likely to take off the farthest and the quickest. The first sector is, or not sector really, first group of stocks are Bitcoin related crypto plays. These companies they're obviously in the crypto sector or involved in crypto mining, something to do with trading crypto. And their price is going to be directly affected by Bitcoin, so you get a little heads up if you're going up or down. Typically Bitcoin's going to take that move first, so you get the easily predicted pumps and your easily predicted pullbacks as well. And like I said, these companies are really dependent on Bitcoin. So even if the market does decide to go downward next week, it's entirely possible that a lot of these will take off regardless, as long as Bitcoin's strong. The obvious first one to mention is Marathon Digital, not Patent Group anymore. Um, they've been on a tear, obviously, mimicking the exact path of Bitcoin, up, down, up, down. And I think if Bitcoin manages to hold the 60 range and go upward to 70, 75, it's entirely possible to see Marathon double in the short term. Probably see a decent sized pullback at that point, but short term contract plays for the coming week and the coming months seem like a pretty much sure thing to me. Here would say with Marathon, we'll be watching for if Bitcoin does take off to the downside a little bit, you're watching for support around the 27, 28 range. And if Bitcoin continues to climb and we see Marathon go with it, we'll be looking forward to break this resistance, well, hold this resistance as support around 40, 41, and then see another one break at 45 range, and upwards from there. And then same basic story with Riot. Obviously, they've been moving pretty much lockstep, although Riot has pulled ahead lately, showing more strength in the overall. And I think it might be getting close to, yeah, I think it's about close to double what Marathon's at right now. But same basic play. We'll be looking forward to hold support around 40, 40, 50 maybe. Uh, and that'll be after it holds support, or if breaks support around the 55 range. And then if there's more upside, we'll be watching for resistance right around $60.45. And then the next one's right at 75, and upwards to all-time highs from there if it keeps moving. You see the channels right here. We expect it to play out in. Next ID, little brother to Marathon and Riot, basically, was reluctant to start pumping with Bitcoin, but recently started to. It's been taking nice jogs upward with Bitcoin pumps. Right now, we're right about the 250 range at the moment, and we'll be watching for it to the 150 range. We watch for it to break $2 and then head upwards to 250 and a break from there with a strong Bitcoin and strong market. Obviously, we can see a 2x, 3x easily. And I'll be watching for it's riding this channel here and be watching for it to jump up into the channel above and then break that resistance at about $2.35-40, and then just to rip to the upside if Bitcoin is still showing a strong upward trend. And like I said, this could play out in a matter of a day or two. This could play out in a matter of a couple months. If you're going to play contracts on these, definitely want to pay a little extra on that expiration. XNet, Junlei, they started to take off a little bit, broken the $3 range and went up to over 5, cooled off a bit. Just a nice steady upward trend all the way to break above 11. before the correction brought it back down. Trading around 750 now. It's a little higher than I'd like to enter it, but if it gets enough attention from the cryptos, yeah, I mean, even from 750, you could easily 2x. I mean, it already broke the 11 range. It wouldn't be too much trouble for it to go up to the 15. And like I said, it's trading under $2, so it's really, I mean, even if it did pull back some more, I really don't see it breaking past support at $1 or even really reaching it. So, I mean, yeah, I wouldn't jump all in on this play, but I do think it's a pretty safe bet. Stick your toe in the water, so to speak. And we're watching for it to stay in this channel. Holding support right there, and watch for it to move up and toward resistance. And oh, my favorite play, Currency Works. This stock in the last few months has gone from a penny to $3, and it, I think, still has a whole ton of upside from here. It could easily 2x, 3x, 4x, and we're talking about a stock that is literally up 30,000%, guys. In the last few months, this stock is up 30,000%. I would usually tell you to run screaming, but with a strong market, strong Bitcoin, still tons of upside here. I mean, I've been added to it. I started my position around the $2.20 range, and I'm trying to add to it anytime it pulls back. I see a riot type trajectory shaping up here. Just my personal opinion. And then the second group of stocks is the safety SPACs, everybody's favorite. I mean, because these ones, like I said, they're a little safer while we're still feeling out the market. The rate, a lot of them are close to that defined bottom at $10. They've been brought as low as they can possibly go during the correction. I mean, any of them in that safety SPAC $10.50 range are pretty good bet. But we would prefer they be merger target in a hot sector with catalyst coming up on the cycle that hasn't taken off, and then these just be quick in and out plays for the most part, in and out at the catalysts. Some of my favorites, GXGX. I've been riding that $10 the whole correction. It was at $10.20 before the correction, and just proved the theory by just going completely sideways right at the $10 level, and merging with Cellularity, doing therapies to prevent cancer and fight degenerative diseases. I see this taking off, not getting the respect it deserves. NTSB merging with Apex Clearing, just with the overall popularity of the market growing daily at such a rapid pace. I mean, clearinghouses in general are going to see growth, and it's can be related to crypto, loosely, the clearinghouse as well, it's financials in general. Could lend to the possibility for a good hype spike if the market does trend up, and like it's sitting all the way down below 1050, I believe, around 1020, so it's all the way down in the safety SPAC. So I'm one of those worst case take your money back scenarios, but it's definitely worth an eye this week with an up market and an up Bitcoin. Could easily see some $4 or $5 spiking. Another one added into the safety SPAC list are AAC, merging with Berkshire Grey, which is AI to streamline and automate logistics for warehouses and distribution centers. Walmart, what have you. They hold over like 100 patents, I think 110 patents and pending patents on the system, and backed by Chamath. So plenty of hype potential, and solid company that's already got putting out a profitable product. And with the Chamath hype added to it, you never know what'll happen. Also got RTP and Reinvent Tech. They were backed by Uber to make flying cars. They intend to have a automated flying taxi system in place by 2024, which obviously that officially puts us in the future. So I mean, it's going to be a no-brainer there. It's going to be some pretty rapid and substantial growth. However, that's a few years away, which is going to scare people off, I'm sure. So this would definitely be one to play along the catalyst type cycle, for your 2 or 3 profit spikes throughout the pre-market or pre-merger time frame, and then just kind of keep an eye on after post-merger. We got another one that brought down one of the old ones from the list, BTAC. Now, they still haven't picked a target for merger, but they have a strong management team, and they all have backgrounds in the financial institutions, and more importantly, backgrounds in Coinbase, backgrounds in crypto. So it's very likely they're going to have a merger target that's definitely going to be financial related, but more than likely also going to be crypto related, which obviously is going to send this flying as long as Bitcoin pumps, and just make one more of those plays that is so beautiful with the heads up on whether you're about to take an upward jog or a downward fall, because you get the pre-warned by Bitcoin. So this one's in safety SPAC for us again. And a couple of my old favorites that had to remove from the list because they're starting to take off now, but Thunder Bridge merging with Indie Semiconductor, which is an already profitable semiconductor company, and also providing product for the automotive electric vehicle industry. Nothing but upside here, in my opinion. It's already started to take off, like I said, outside the safety SPAC range, but I still see a solid possible 2x from where it's sitting right now. Obviously, it's a pull back and repeat the process a couple times along the hype cycle when they do announce that merger target, when they announce the vote, so on and so forth. So might be worth keeping an eye on for a pullback a little bit early next week. It might be worth getting in at the current price level. You just have to decide how you want to play it. But a lot of these specs just basically nothing but speculative plays. They're companies that have no product out. They're companies that are in debt and are going to be more in debt for the next couple of years. That's the majority of these. So anytime you see a merger target that's actual company turning a profit, that's putting a product out there that has clients, that has contracts, that's a huge plus in my mind, especially if you're trying to start up a long-term position. I mean, those are very important factors to be considering. So, like I said, it's an important one to keep an eye on. And my other favorite, that's a little out of the safety SPAC range now, is PDAC merging with Li-Cycle, which is going to be a company recycling lithium-ion batteries. And like I said several times before, that's the definition of a growth sector to me. I don't see anything but upside on this one. I mean, if this is a long-term play holding for years, I don't see why you couldn't see a 5 to 10x return on this. I mean, it's a no-brainer once again, but definitely worth keeping an eye on. Had to boot it from the list because it is outside of the safety SPAC range, but I mean, with an overall recovery in the EV sector, if the market is done with this correction, I mean, this is going to go flying $20, $30 range easily. I mean, it's probably not going to be another Lucid, but could be close, depending on how much exposure it gets. You see the channels I'm keeping an eye on for the way up. And not quite safety SPACs, but really important. Consider the amount of hype that can be related to people that are backing these, and if some of these are SPACs that ARK is currently buying or is gone on record as being supportive of, which is just going to lend to this hype cycle. The standard catalyst could be exaggerated by 2 or 3x because of the association with ARK. These are they may be out of the safety range, but the moves are going to be exaggerated. These are possible long-term holds. For short-term, you're looking at 2 or 3x potential, where you might have only seen 50% gains otherwise, and 10x potential if you're
And
looking for the
SPACs
long
are
term.
interesting because they're providing liquidity for venture capital firms who are taking companies public, perhaps a little sooner than might have otherwise have been the case. So the friction associated with that is slipping. I know there are questions about SPACs and the kind of fees that they charge, and we're glad that some of that is being exposed, and hopefully we'll see more transparency there altogether. But we do think the combination of the innovation platforms scaling themselves and companies rushing in to provide investors with exposure to them is going to answer a lot of these capacity questions.
What do you view of the SPACs right now? Would you ever invest in these SPACs?
Oh yes, we are investing in them. I got 4 of them that Kathy's looking at that are worth keeping an eye on. I think they haven't taken off too far. ACIC, another flying car company. And like I said, people, that's our official sign that we have made it to the future. It's just psychological. Just the hype potential is amazing, and it's just a connection between technology being advanced into the future, and the advancement of the human race through popular culture is directly tied to the achievement of the flying car. So people are going to be excited about it. It's going to have the potential to run to, and with the arc hype added to it, this could go all the way to the moon. It's already run up to I think about the $18 range and brought back down all the way to safety spec for us during the correction. So a little bit over 11 now, just slightly out of the safety spec range, but with all the extra hype potential added to this one, I would still call this the safety spec range here. Like I said, just the arc association alone can easily exaggerate the moves that this would usually make by 2 or 3x, and factor in the flying car psychology. You got a pretty good catalyst for a winner. A1. Now I definitely need to do more diligence on this. Just started looking at it, but merging with Mark Forge, which is a company making 3D printers, 3D printers and machine learning software for industrial grade composite material printing for pretty much every sector, really. Um, Mark Forge, though, has already got a footprint in 70 countries, over 10,000 customers. And I said earlier that I forget which company had 100 and some odd patents. I was mixing it up. It's Mark Forge that holds over 170 patents and patents pending for their system. So it's already a well established company. Like I said, it's applicable for aerospace, defense, medical, you name it. Every sector really applies. And ARC's showing interest in talking about it, so it's going to cause exaggerated spikes for us. Definitely worth keeping an eye on. A little less safe, but come on. Also, seems to be a favorite of ARC at the moment is Kappa, CAPA, merging with Quantum Psi. Which I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and tell you I understand what they're doing at Quantum Psi. They make, to my understanding, semiconductors that somehow sequence proteins for genomic sector applications. I don't have any idea how that equates to profit. Definitely need more due diligence, but I do know that the keywords are there to trigger hype. It's obviously going to be included in ARC's genomic ETF, and really, I mean, like with a lot of these SPACs, guys, I mean, it's I hate to admit it, but a lot of them don't have to be a good company with a bright future. They just have to be able to trigger the hype that we need for short-term profits, and with the $10 floor to give us a safer version of the usual contract plays. So just having the keywords in place and the hype associated with ARC are enough. I'm definitely going to research and see what the company is actually about, and more than likely they'll be a solid company as well. And ARC's also into CMLF, CM Life Science. Now, CMLF is merging with Semaphore, which has a cool name, SEMA and the number 4. I have not been able to do the due diligence necessary yet, but I definitely want to keep an eye on it. More than likely going to take off this week, just like the other 3 with the ARC-related hype. So do the due diligence, guys. I'll do some more and keep you updated. It'll be included. All these will be included in the promising SPACs section of the Discord. Link will be in the description if you guys want to check that out. I'll talk about it at the end of the video. Just a reminder that while we are officially at Modern Traders cautiously bullish on the market overall, it's still important not to jump in too quickly. Like I say over and over again, it's better just to leave some profit on the table than get tricked. So just one of the many factors to keep an eye on is the overall pattern of the SPY the last 6 months or so is to double bottom and run up. You see 3 occasions where it double bottomed and ran up, and right now we could be playing out this double bottom outline right here, and have just completed that and be looking at a nice jog to the upside, all-time highs. It's hopefully that's the case. It's looking more and more likely. However, we also need to consider the possibility that the overall pattern of double bottoming is started with this all-time high and come all the way to this bottom, and now we're at the top of the W and could entirely possibly also see this play out over the course of the next week or so, which would see us running down to test 374, 373 before eventually running back up and then testing all-time highs. And, like I said, guys, that's just a maybe, it's just an if, but there's a lot of these ifs, and you need to have them, keep them in mind when you're starting to invest or starting to get into a position to trade. It's like I always preach to the group, you can always make more money tomorrow trading in a different position, but you can never get back the money you throw away on a contract expiring worthless. And before you go, I want to invite everybody over to the Discord for Modern Traders. There'll be a link in the description. We are doing a promotion right now. Come over to the group to check out the details, but basically refer a friend, get half their premium price. Also doing a free trial on the premium. Just a good time to introduce you guys to the group. We have a great group of guys. I think about 100 members at this point. Good conversation going most hours. Even market general conversation as well as unrelated conversation and after hours combos. Not the dirty talk there though, guys. It's a free membership, free to join the group and keep resources for you guys. Keep ARCs trades, upcoming earnings, catalysts, news, FDA clearing. Just a bunch of free resources. Try to give everybody a little bit of an edge. We do have a premium membership as well that includes the premium section with the team of call-outs, daily call-outs for you guys, entries and exits, what we're playing. Keep a daily watch list of the best upcoming opportunities for the following day, and a similar list for promising SPACs and safety SPACs that are worth keeping an eye on or have reached their bottom and their floor and, signaling an excellent entry point. And we believe in giving back to the members, so we are going to be holding contests and doing giveaways and monthly prizes. So come check us out, guys. Link in the description. I'm Ben. It's Modern Traders. Thanks for stopping by.